Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we'll be looking at Magsafes on Samsung phones. I encountered Magsafe for the first time when I got my iPhone 13. It was such a wonderful discovery, the ability to have your wallet, your power bank and other accessories stick to the back of your phone so easily and so conveniently, so that you can take this with you, make sure your phone is charging as you go, and it was such a convenient thing to have instead of having cables charging your phone all the time. When I got my S24 Ultra, which is my primary phone, I quickly started searching to see if I can find Magsafe accessories for the phone. So that took me down the path of finding this case, because I was surprised to find one on Amazon. So technically I've used Magsafe for 22 years on my phone. So today I wanted to just share my experience using Magsafe. So if you've got any of the new phones, maybe the S24 Ultra or the S24 Plus, or just the S24, or any of the older versions like the S23, some of these ideas I'm going to share might be beneficial to you from my experience using Magsafe. For me, Magsafe has been amazing. The fact that I can conveniently charge my phone wherever I am. Unfortunately, Samsung has not adopted Magsafe. There were rumors that the newer phones, the S24 phones, will come with Magsafe with the Qi 2 charging standards, which unfortunately was not implemented. But I think I know one of the reasons why Samsung has not implemented Magsafe, especially on the Samsung Ultra phones. These phones are unique in their way because they come with the S Pen. And if you, I believe, because I've used the Note series for so many years, and now using the S series, the Ultra series, it's been I remember back in the days, the Note series, the way it works, because these pens initially did not have Bluetooth functionalities, so they basically just write straight on the pen. And I remember that the Note series had this active digitizers built into the screens. So once you place your pen on the screen, there is some sort of like a magnetic induction that connects the screen of the pen to the tip of the pen to charge the capacitors inside this pen. So that's how the pen writes. So if you use the Note phones, then one of the big problems you will have is that the magnets in Magsafe will interfere with the pen when you're writing. So that's one of the challenges with Magsafe, having a Magsafe case on your phone. And also because these phones are not naturally built to work with Magsafe, the design, you can see the way the iPhone cameras are somewhere at the top here, the Samsung cameras are at the bottom. So if the call is somewhere here, there's always a chance that this camera bump here will have interference from a Magsafe accessory. So I think the main reason why Samsung has not implemented Magsafe on their phones is because of the technology for the S Pen. So, but there are so many case manufacturers out there who have taken the bold step of making Magsafe cases for people like me, because I do like Magsafe on my phone. So that took me down the path of multiple cases. So the very first case that I got for my phone is this ESR case. So it's a fantastic case, looks well built and solid, and has a kickstand on it, so you can stand your phone this way or you can stand your phone that way. So the case works for multiple positioning. So the only challenge that I had with the case is with the S Pen. So when you fit your case in, you'll notice quickly that once you want to write with the S Pen, and so sometimes you will get interference. You can see that breakup there. It doesn't happen all the time, but every now and then when you write, you will see breakup. So if you're not an active S Pen user or you're using any of the other Samsung phones, then this is a fantastic case. I've got no faults with it. It's an amazing case and it's worked very well for me. But because I use S Pen a lot, so technically I had issues with using this case. So I thought to myself, if I can find some of these round cases that had if I could find some of these round cases that you can move the clip on it, like this generic one that I got from Amazon. It's not a known brand. So some of the advantages of this one is when you move, if you take the ring out, then that disconnects it from the phone. It puts a distance between the magnet and the phone, so you can use the S Pen. So most of the time I was using it as some sort of like a holder, but this also gives you the ability to stand your phone in multiple positions as well. So this was a good case to use on the phone. But what I quickly realized was the gap between the magnet and the phone. So you can see the ESR case. I'm going to power up this Magsafe. Once you connect it, it starts charging. But what that means is, if you want to, because once you connect the Magsafe accessories, the magnet, so you can see, but you can notice the issue here, and you can notice. So it's very temperamental. But the challenge that I had with this case is, depending on the Magsafe charger you're using, my phone quickly became very sensitive to chargers. So depending on the Magsafe charger you're using, sometimes it picks up on charging, sometimes it doesn't. I realized that this generic Magsafe charger, 10,000 milliamperes, that I bought on Amazon, became the main one that could charge on this case. So if I take this case out, and pop this case in, and put this charger on, and maybe now this charger might work. You can see this one is working, or if I put a different case, sometimes it doesn't work. So this case is good. Because of the gap between the case and the charger, you notice that this case is also great because you have less S Pen interference, magnetic interference on the S Pen. So this is a good case. So it has less S Pen interference because of that gap between this. So I quickly realized that I could actually use the S Pen a lot more without needing to pull the handle out on the charger. without needing to pull the handle up on the charger. Well, that then brought me to the second issue that I had with Magsafe, which was the camera bump. So depending on the accessories, sometimes the chargers, they have strong magnets, but you can see that the magnet on this isn't that strong, because if you look, the camera bump here is lifting the Magsafe up a little bit on this side. So you will see that here. So that's the challenge you have with a couple of cases that have this lift here. So if you're using a Magsafe accessory, I'm just going to put away the iPhone and put these chargers on one side. If you're using a Magsafe accessory like a wallet, that quickly becomes a problem for your wallet, because your wallet is no longer stable. It's that lift over here makes the wallet not very sticky to the Magsafe, the magnet at the back. And I had the same challenge with this one as well. This one was even more pronounced, as you can see the lift here. So that took me down the path of trying to see if I can find a different case, which brought me to this case from Spigen. One of the advantages with this case is that the case has holes for the camera, but also these holes are elevated. So when you put your phone in the case, the camera sits inside the case, so you don't have this bump that you find in these two cases. But the thing I wasn't sure was how this case was going to react with the S Pen. So how will the S Pen react with this case? So when I popped in the case, you could see how flat the cameras are in this case. So if I put a Magsafe wallet in here, you can see that the Magsafe wallet is sitting on top of the camera. So now this does not take away the concern, because the third concern with Magsafe is that the camera, regardless of whatever camera Magsafe accessories that you mount at the back of your phone, you're going to get the accessory blocking the rear camera. So whether you're using this or whether you're using a charger, and also this Magsafe, this case does not have the magnet that usually stick at the bottom here, that gives you a third, it controls you can find that in this one, for example. So if I stick this in here, this magnet controls the lower part of the charging of the Magsafe and makes it a lot more stable. So this magnet controls that. So none of these cases has that magnet. So sometimes there's a tendency that you put your charging and it moves around, but that's fine. I don't mind, because I prefer to have a stand at the back of my phone instead. So these are my experiences with Magsafe. So number one is the impact on the S Pen. So when I With this case, I did not have any issue with the X Pen, which surprised me. But it's a thick case, so maybe that the thickness of the case, because it's like a double layer case, so maybe the thickness of the case helps reduce the impact of the magnetic field of the S Pen, the impact of magnetic field on the active digitizer that is on the screen of the Samsung Ultra phone. So that way the S Pen works. So these are all great cases, every single one of them. So depending on what's important to you, you then choose which one that you want. So the common thing amongst all of them is that whichever one that you pick, you're going to have the Magsafe accessory blocking the lower telescopic camera. I believe that's the one. So you're going to have that across the board. Then if you decide to get these ones that have the extended Magsafe ring that can come out, my experience is that sometimes they are a bit sensitive to the Magsafe charging. So because I don't know if it's because of the plastic in between them and the phone, I realized that sometimes you put a Magsafe charger on it, it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it also depends on the charger itself. The two that I have here work, but I have another one. So sometimes it works and sometimes it does not work on the phone. I'm going to this only happens with this case. So this is the charger. So if I press the button to turn on the charger, the charger is switched on. So if I stick that to the back of this phone, it comes on. So yeah, it's working today. So might not be an issue, but that was my experience sometimes. So the second issue is with the camera bump. If you prefer the cases that comes with a bit of an elevation, because the advantage of these elevations is that they lift up above your camera, so they have better protection on the camera, unlike these two cases. This one is the original Samsung case, the full leather case, and this one is the ESR case. So these ones will give you a better elevation when you put your phone down on a surface, but the disadvantage is that they will also lift up your accessories. If you're only using a charger for your phone, because regardless of what wallet that you have, you're going to, unless the wallet has an amazing magnet, like some of these muffed wallets have great magnets, so maybe that will work for you. Or if you charge your phone with a Magsafe puck, then that shouldn't be an issue at all, because they will work and they will not have any contact with the bumps. So, but if you want to get a Magsafe charger, I will advise that you get one that has this type of elevation on it. So they're lifted up, the circle itself is lifted up. So what that helps you is when you put this on the phone, you will see how it's now elevated above the bump. So these ones will never have any issue. They will stick to your phone and stay there. So look out for these sort of Magsafe chargers that have and elevation on them. They will be the best. Likewise for this one as well, you can see. So if I press this button, it should come on any moment from now. That's it charging, and you can see that it's lifted above the bump on the phone. So these are some of the challenges you could have with Magsafe devices and some of the solutions for them. So these are all fantastic cases that I have encountered with varying different, challenges using them and ways that you can rectify the issue. But I thought I'd mention these. So if you're out there buying a Magsafe case, depending on the type you have, if safety is a preference for you because you want this camera bump, something that lifts up your phone, then just be conscious that a lot of these sort of chargers that are flat will not work on the phone. So you need to get yourself the Magsafe chargers that have a bit of a lift to the charging ring on this side. Then if your S Pen is a concern for you, this was my experience with this one. So these two have worked for me with the S Pen because I use the S Pen a lot. So the one that can lift off and step away from the phone, and this one that has a bit of a thicker case, because the reason why I say it has a thicker case is a whole groove inside here built into it, which means this case is thick. And from my experience, I believe it's like two layers to this case. So there's a whole layer. So the case has like a double layer to it. So that means a thicker case and more insulation, but it charges properly. So these are my experiences with Magsafe. These are the cases that I like. I bought all three of them myself. So no company sent me these case, and this is a Samsung case, which is nice and lovely, but it hasn't got Magsafe on it. So I think maybe in the future Samsung might decide to go the Magsafe route and get us a Magsafe case. Maybe they figured out how to handle the active digitizer on the screen and how to insulate that from magnets. So feel free. Hopefully this benefits someone out there in your journey with Magsafe. Magsafe is lovely. And then if you use a Magsafe case, put a comment in the comment box and let me know your experience with the Magsafe case. And if you like this video, subscribe. I'm going to cover a lot about these phones and the tablets, the laptops, and a lot of these technical tech accessories. So keep following the channel. Thank you.